Friction, Class 8th, Chapter 12. In this chapter, we will study idea of friction, the causes and types of friction, advantages and disadvantages of frictions, and methods of increasing and reducing friction. Children, we have discussed in previous chapter 11, force and friction, that a rolling ball slows down and stops after some time. Similarly, if we stop pedaling a bicycle, it slows down and ultimately stops. Also, rolling ball covers longer distances on smooth surface than on a grassy lawn, that is rough surface. Grassy lawn is a rough surface. Now, what makes moving things come to a stop? There is some kind of force that acts on the ball or the bicycle and makes them stop. This force is known as frictional force or simply friction. The force of frictions acts between the ball and the floor, for example, the lawn, and between the bicycle and the road. It always tries to prevent movement. Because of this, the ball and bicycle slow down and then stops. Children, here you are seeing figure 12.1. A ball covers a longer distance on the smooth surface and it covers less distance on grass, that is the rough surface. You can see in this pic this observation. Now take a book and place it on a horizontal table. Simple plain table. Now try to push the book gently with your finger. The book does not move. This is because the table exerts a force on the book in the direction opposite to your push. We already know that the table and the book exert normal forces on each other. These forces are in vertical direction, that is perpendicular to the contact surfaces, but the force exerted by our finger is horizontal. This means the table can exert a force on the book in a direction parallel to the contact surface. Such a force parallel to the contact surface is called force of friction. Thus, if a body exerts a force on another body placed in its contact in a direction parallel to the contact surface, the force is called force of friction. It is always in the direction opposite to the direction of motion. Children, you are seeing the pic. On the book, force of our push is applied. Now the table exerted force in the opposite direction. And in the second pic, a book is exerting normal force in the vertical direction on the table, and the table exerted normal force on the book in the upward direction. Causes of friction. If the two surfaces in contact are smooth, plain, friction is very small. If the surfaces are rough, friction is large. Whenever a body slips over another body, the force of friction acts in a direction opposite to the direction of slipping. So we observe that nature of surface, whether smooth or rough, plays a very important role in the origin of friction. Children, try to understand the diagram. The roughness of the surface. This can be represented by peak and value. If the roughness is more, then the friction is more. If the roughness is less, then friction is also less. Friction cannot be reduced to zero, howsoever smooth the surfaces may be. This is because a Surface that appears to be very smooth to naked eyes may not really be so when examined under a powerful microscope. In the previous slide, you have seen a large view of apparently smooth surfaces in contact. So this also have peak and values. Now the surface of a good sun mica table looks very smooth to the naked eye. But if you see it under a powerful microscope, you will find a number of peaks and valleys in the surface as shown in the figure. So these are called peaks and valleys are called irregularities. Same is the case with the surface of a book. As a result, when a book is placed on a table, the actual contact between the table and the book is made at a much smaller number of points. Since the entire load of the book falls on such points, peaks only, the book presses the table very hard at these contact points. The peaks and values of the surfaces of book and tabletop interlock with each other. When the book is made to slide on the table, these interlock points try to hold the book and hence oppose the motion. Thus forces are exerted parallel to the contact surface, which appear to us as friction. That is why a sufficient amount of force has to be applied before one body starts sliding upon another body. Thus, more the irregularities means number of peaks and values on the two surfaces in contact. That is, the more rough are the surfaces in contact, the more is the force of friction. Activity 1. Aim to compare the experience of riding bicycle on a concrete road and uneven road. Materials required: only a bicycle. Procedure: ride a bicycle on a concrete road and then ride it on a rough or uneven road, in which case you can ride more easily. Now observation: we will experience that it is easier to ride a bicycle on a concrete road than on a rough and uneven road, because the concrete road is smooth as compared to uneven or rough road. Concrete road exert less force of friction, and rough and uneven road exerts more force of friction. Activity 2. Now aim to show that force of friction depends on the nature of the two surfaces in contact. For this activity, materials required: only a ball. Procedure or method: roll the ball on the well polished floor, then on a concrete road, and then on a grassy ground, and lastly on the sand bed, in which case it will cover the longest distance, and in which case it will cover the shortest distance. Now observation: so we will observe that the ball will cover longest distance on the well polished floor and shortest distance on the sand bed. Now conclusion: so we can conclude that more the surface is rough or uneven, more is the friction. When the surface is smooth, less is the friction. You can see here in the pic. On the sand bed, the ball covers the least distance, and on the well polished floor, the ball covers the maximum distance or longest distance. Smoothness or roughness of the surface is the main factor on which the friction depends. Now, effects of friction. First point: it always tries to prevent movement and tries to stop the body. Second, it veers off the surface of contact of two bodies. Third point: it is always in the direction opposite to the direction of motion. Fourth point: it produces heat. Friction produces heat. Activity 3. Aim To understand more about the effect of smoothness or roughness of surfaces in friction. Now for this activity, materials required: a large table with even surface, a spring balance, a wooden block with a hook, a sheet of porous sandpaper, a sheet of glass, two rounded pencils. Procedure or method. First point, place the wooden block over the tabletop and pull slowly across the table with the help of spring balance. Note down the reading on the spring balance. This gives you the force needed to pull the block. Now come to second point. Now place the glass sheet on the table. Pull the wooden block over it. See how much force is required now. Note the reading. Third point. Next, place the large sheet of porous sandpaper on the table with the rough side up. Put the wooden block on the sandpaper. Repeat the procedure again with the rough side. Note how much force is required in both the cases. Now fourth point, place the wooden block over the two pencils and again put it with the help of spring balance. See the reading in the spring balance this time. Now compare the results obtained for each type of surfaces. Now children, we have noted down wooden block. For the wooden block, more force is required, and for the glass sheet, less force is required. For the sandpaper upward, more force is required. For sandpaper downward, less force is required. For wooden block on pencils as roller, less force is required. Now, from this activity, what we find: when was the force minimum to pull the wooden block and when was it the maximum? Now, observation: we would have observed that it was much easier to move the wooden block when it was placed on the pencil, and it was much difficult to move the wooden block when it was placed on the sandpaper, as sandpaper has more rough surface and on the pencil it acts like a rollers.